Now we're going to talk about mole conversions. There are really 6 conversions, basic conversions that you can do with the mole. Is going to be gram to mole and vice versa, particle to mole, vice versa, and then gram all the way to particle and vice versa. So let's work these problems together. I'll tell you right out of the gate. Here's the key: units, 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 units. Always write down the units and you'll be able to figure out what you need to. So gram to mole. Let's start with 16.2 grams of lead. I want to get rid of grams, end with moles, and so we put grams on the bottom, mole on the top. Notice I always do the unit first and then I attach numbers. Whenever you're converting between grams and moles, you have to use the periodic table. So I find lead right here, and that is 207.2 grams in 1 mole. And I recommend, I'm going to make this note, if you're taking notes, write this down. Whenever you use gram and mole, use the periodic table. Periodic table. That's automatically where your brain goes, is molar mass. Okay, put this in your calculator and we get 0.0, let's see, notice I have 3 sig figs here, so I'll go to 3 sig figs, 0.0782, and that's moles of lead. And I put that final unit on it. Okay, vice versa, let's switch it. Let's go from moles to grams. I have 3.7 moles of water. Notice I did molar masses over here, just in case you needed a review, you can look at that. I want to get rid of mole, goes on the bottom to cancel out, and we want grams. So I attached the molar mass for water. 1 mole, and notice mole always gets 1. When we're doing these conversions, mole always gets the 1. And this is 18.02. So multiply 3.7 times 18.02. We're going to have 3 sig figs. That is going to be 66.7 grams of water. 66.7 grams of water. Okay, now we're going to switch. Now we're going particles to moles. And remember, the particle can be anything. In chemistry, you're going to see words like compound, atom, molecule, formula unit, ion. Here, we want to go from atoms, that's my particle, to mole. So we want to get rid of the atom, put that on the bottom, and we want to end with mole. So mole always gets 1. 1 mole has how many particles in it? Avogadro's number, 6.022 times 10 to the 23. So I'm going to make a note here. Whenever you have to convert with particles, that means you're going to use Avogadro's number. Whenever particles are involved, you're going to have to use Avogadro's number. So calculating this, 8.5 times 10 to the 24 divided by 6.022 times 10 to the 23, and we get, I'm going to do 3 sig figs because of my 8.50, 14.1 mole of mercury right there. Okay, now we're going to go vice versa, mole to particle. So I have the 0.499 moles of nickel 2 nitrate. I did the molar mass over here for you. And we're going to bring this to, in this case, is going to be compound. You could also call this a formula unit since it's an ionic compound. So I put mole on the bottom, that's going to cancel, and we're going to put the compound on top. So 1 mole contains 6.022 times 10 to the 23 compounds. Do that calculation and we get, I'm going to write it right down here. So actually you can see it. 5 point, and we need 3 sig figs, 5.49 times 10 to the 25 compounds. Wow, a lot of compounds in that. Very good. Now, the last one. These are 2-step. We're going to go from gram to particle. So I see grams, right away I think periodic table. I see particle, right away I think Avogadro's number. So we're going to have to use both. Look at units and you'll know when you use which conversion. So I'm going to start with 25.2 grams of propane. Grams, I've got to bring it to moles. So I'm going to use molar mass. And I did the molar mass right over here for you. So the molar mass is, actually let's do grams first. That's what I want to get rid of. put mole up top. 1 mole is 44.11 grams. And again, here's the molar mass. You can see the molar mass right there. Just added up the 3 carbons and the 8 hydrogens. Now, if I stopped right there, I would end with moles of propane. But I want to know compounds. I want to know molecules. We have to go another step. To go from mole to molecule, the particle, I put mole on the bottom, particle on top, and now I use Avogadro's number. So 1 mole is 6.022 times 10 to the 23 particles. And the particle, I really should have, written molecule right there. Okay, now putting this in your calculator, fewest strokes possible. You do 25.2 divided by 44.11 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23. Again, make sure that you're using the E function right there, that double E function right above the comma, to make sure that you do it correctly. Sometimes if you don't use that E function, students put it in wrong and they get the wrong answer. The E function is like an error proof. Okay, the answer on this one is right here. And I'm going to round it to 3 sig figs. Everything else we're going to count as an exact value. This is going to be 0.571, and that will be, let's see. I'm sorry, I must have done the wrong one. Let me go down one. Oh, there's the answer. So sorry, I wrote the wrong one down. Here it is, 3.44 times 10 to the 23 molecules of propane. Okay, there we have it. Last one, we're going to reverse it. So now we're going to go from particle to gram. Again, I see particles, I think Avogadro's number. I see grams, I think molar mass. So we're going to have to use both. I have 8.21 times 10 to the 23 lithium atoms. I want to get rid of that particle. So atoms goes in the denominator and mole goes in the numerator. 1 always goes with the mole. And the atoms, our particles, 6.022 times 10 to the 23. 1 mole has that many atoms, Avogadro's number. Now, if I stopped right here, I'd end with moles of lithium, but I want grams. So now we're going to use molar mass from the periodic table to bring us from moles to grams. So I want to get rid of moles. Mole on the denominator, gram in the numerator, and I just look at the periodic table. There it is, there's lithium. It is 6.94 grams for every 1 mole of lithium. All right, our answer, whoa, is pretty big. 60.1 grams of lithium. Wow. So one last little note on here. If you're going from grams to particle or vice versa, because of the gram, you're going to have to use the periodic table, and because of the particle, we also have to use, I'm going to put and, Avogadro's number. Avogadro's number. Oops, number. Okay, there we have it. Basic mole conversions. Good job.